Hey everyone, it's Joe with Portland Pro Detail. Today we're going to be talking about Solution Finish, a trim restoring product we use here in the shop. We're going to be talking about what it is, how to prep for it, and then how to actually apply it. So Solution Finish is a true trim restoring product. It is not a dressing like you see pretty much anywhere else in the market. This is a true trim restorer. It uses natural oils, is polymer based, and actually has a little bit of carbon put into it to really bring out the full richness of the product. It's not a greasy product, so we're actually going to be working on running boards today, and typically if you put a dressing on a running board, you risk the possibility of slipping, and so that is not the case with Solution Finish. It is a non-greasy trim restorer that is, once it's wiped off, it is ready to go. And then the other thing with it is that it is a body shop safe product. There's no silicones in it, so if you are in a body shop and you're using this product, you are safe to use it. All right, so next we are going to be talking about how to actually prep the surface for Solution Finish. The prep process is going to be pretty quick and simple, but it's also going to be a very important part to making sure that the outcome and the finish of the product is going to be the best that it can be. So, like I said, it's super simple. The two things that you're going to need for the prep process is going to be isopropyl alcohol. You're going to want 70% or higher of isopropyl alcohol. This is going to strip off any of the previous dressings that may have been on the plastic, any embedded grime, anything like that. It's going to remove that and make it a very clean surface for the plastic and prepped for that Solution Finish. And then obviously you're going to want a microfiber towel just to apply it with. So real quick, we are going to take the isopropyl, get a little bit on there, and then we are just going to apply to the surface and kind of agitate the actual surface with it. This, as you can see, is a very thin slotted groove for the steps and whatnot. So I'm not gonna be able to get all the way down into the groove, but that isn't gonna be too much of an issue. What we really wanna make sure is that these flat surfaces are well treated. All right, so finally now we're gonna get down to applying the actual Solution Finish and restoring this trim. I have sectioned off just a small chunk of the actual running board so you can see a before and after. As you can see, the plastic itself is relatively faded. It's not as faded as I've seen with some other vehicles, but this is definitely in need of some trim restoration. So for the application process, you're going to want your actual Solution Finish, an application pad, preferably like a microfiber applicator pad. And then I always have a couple of tools with me depending on the circumstances of, like, as you can see with the grooves. So you can get one of these little sponge applicators. You can get them at pretty much any craft store, or one of these brushes. I'm going to be using the brush today just because these grooves are so tight, and I'm going to need something to get in between those two. So with the Solution Finish, you're going to want to shake it up really, really well. That is a huge part of it. This stuff can separate. And so you just want to make sure everything is together. And then going to take only about 2 drops of the actual Solution Finish and apply it to the pad. You do not need a ton of product for this. A little bit goes a long way. And what you really want to do is actually stretch this product until you can't really see that it's moving anymore. You really want to use as much of this stuff, because the more doesn't exactly mean more for this. It's less is more. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to start applying it to the actual surface. You can kind of see that I'm getting a little bit on the painted surface right now, and that's okay. We're going to want to make sure that that gets off of there because it does have that carbon in there and it can leave a small bit of staining, but for now it is a-okay. And I'm actually working this in. I'm trying to agitate it and work out any of the oxidation. That's that stuff that really does cause the fading of the plastic. I'm going to make sure that I'm trying to get as much of that worked in as possible. So you can see that I pretty much worked all of the surface that I can with just a sponge. This is when your tools are going to come into play and you're going to be able to get deeper into those grooves. So I'm just going to once again take about 2 drops onto this guy. And then the way that I'm going to apply it is I'm going to take the brush and I'm just going to kind of dab it in this way. If you try to just put it directly on the brush, you're going to make a mess and it's going to get everywhere. So I would say kind of do it this method. And then I'm just going to come in work it into those grooves. Work it both ways and just kind of run with the grooves. Get a little bit more. Go into the next set. And then this final groove, I'm gonna come in here. Really just trying to make sure I work it into every last little bit. Twisting the brush, doing whatever you need to do to make sure you're getting in between all of those grooves. Once this is applied, we're not gonna let it sit for too terribly long before we wipe off any of the excess oils in here. And then a big part of it is also going to be that after you've applied it, you want to wait about 4 hours or more if you can before you take this out into the rain. If you take it out prior to that, you can run the risk of water spotting on the actual trim, or in certain places you can actually see that it will start to run off and run onto your painted surfaces, and then you're gonna get all that kind of stuff off. So it's kind of just a mess. I'm then going to take my towel right here, and I'm just going to simply wipe off the excess oils that I can get. And I believe I already said this, but you want to make sure that this is a towel that's not super nice, some, pretty inexpensive microfiber, because once you're done doing this trim restoration, you're going to want to throw this towel away because it is pretty grimy. Not going to want to use it for anything else. Alrighty, y'all, so we are now done with the solution finish application. You can already kind of see between the two that this is a much darker running board right through here, but I'm going to take off this tape really quick to give you an actual 50-50 shot. And you can see the difference between the two. This is a 16-year-old running board, and the black is now back. This has been treated once before, but it's been absolutely years since it's been done, and this running board is looking so much better now. With some of these older vehicles, sometimes you might need to do it once more just because it has been so long. It is such old plastic. You might need to go back through one more time and try to work that oxidation out. But once you're done with everything, you're set to go. Just wait those 4 hours, like I said, before you put it into the rain. But you are all set to go after that. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you want to go ahead and follow us on all of our other social medias, Portland Pro Detail or PDX Pro Detail, Instagram, Facebook. We're soon going to have a TikTok, all those sorts of things. But thank you again. Talk to you soon.